Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Comic Cinema Crew, where we're going to talk about our comic cinema films with our usual panel. Right here, we're talking about a spoiler-free discussion for Spider-Man No Way Home, and of course, as always, on the Big Mike and LittleAnt channel. What's up, fellas?
What's
What's
going on?
I've been dying to talk to you guys, but everybody remember this is spoiler free. So I know you guys who've seen it in the chat, just don't spoil anything for people who didn't see it. We're actually giving the people like an extra week to absorb it, and then we're gonna do our spoiler discussion as you know we do. So
Yeah, we're going to do a deep dive into this next week.
oh
We're going to have
Yeah.
plenty of time to go
yeah,
over all the and me. I just came back from seeing it twice. It's my second time seeing it today,
right.
actually. So I got all the details already.
I got
So
really
deep.
busy this weekend, but I will say this. You know what? I'll say it at the end when we're doing our rating.
Gotcha. And I will say this before I even get into it: my rating has changed from the first viewing to second viewing,
Okay,
and that's
cool.
interesting too, as well. So, but anyway, here we go, man. Spider-Man: No Way Home, man. As we know, this is the third Spider-Man from the MCU, Tom Holland Spider-Man, and culmination of a lot. Before I even get into your thoughts, as we always start with, what was your anticipation for this movie going into it? How about Anthony? You can start, bro, this week.
All right, so let me do this real quick. Let me go through the chat. We got the climax in the building. We got Mr. Urban World. We got Brock. What's up, Brock? Good to see you back. And Kale Cam is in the building. So I just want to say what's up to everybody. All right, so my anticipation for this, I know some people was like, oh, it's gonna break records and this and that. I was like, you know what? I was just avoiding the rumors. So it looked cool. I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, but Spider-Man's popular. So I was like, you know what? I think it's gonna be really good because they showed villains from other Spider-Man movies. So I'm like, wow, that's compelling. It reminded me of Days of Future Past with X-Men, how they was able to bring an old cast in. So I'm like, okay, you got old cast of villains with Tom Holland. So that looked cool. So for that, I was excited to see something that kind of something that you don't see all the time. So my expectations was high. I was like, you know what? I got a good feeling about this movie. And if I was able to rate my expectations, I would probably say it was like a 7 or 8, maybe an 8. I was like, man, this looked like it's going to be pretty good. So I'll say that.
All right, Dave.
Yo, you already know my expectations for this, man. This is probably outside of Endgame been the most anticipated.
Hold on. Okay. Go ahead.
It's been the most anticipated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this.
Cool.
It's been the most anticipated movie for me outside of. And I was only more into. I went and bought special jelly beans that were in the colors of the Infinity Stones to go see Endgame.
Hey, Dave.
And I got jelly beans. They weren't just any jelly beans. So,
Dave,
yeah.
I'm a jelly bean aficionado. I literally buy after Easter, bro. I just go to the dollar store and rack up. I love jelly beans. You gotta
I was very excited for this film. I had high expectations. Like if I was gonna put like a pre-rating on it, it would have to been in the 9.5 to 10 range.
Okay, your expectations was nice.
My expectations of it, yes. My expectations of it.
Before I go to E, jelly beans are trash. But E, what
Right.
are your expectations of this movie? Facts, right?
Fuck out of here, both of y'all motherfuckers.
Man,
y'all don't know what's good, man. Y'all don't know what's good. Y'all probably eat nachos.
Right.
Y'all do. Y'all knew y'all eat them bullshit ass, fake ass cheese sauce nachos.
My wife and I, we were huge fans of Presto Bites. And one time I went to movies and I asked the staff, I said, what's better, Presto Bites or nachos? So the staff actually said, listen, we all like Presto Bites, but nachos are more popular. So okay, cool. That was about like a year ago, right? But I'm not gonna lie to you, and Mr. Urban World knows, bro. Me and my wife, we're on to nachos now. We get the nachos and the jalapenos, man. We don't turned over to the nachos.
Right.
Feel sorry for y'all.
Bro, I was a Presto.
I feel sorry for y'all. Y'all think those are real nachos.
It don't matter. They're pretty good.
Anyway, E, what was your anticipation for this movie, bro?
Man, I couldn't wait to see Tom Holland again. I couldn't wait to see the universe again. My anticipation was very high. very high because I know they got to go big, man. You know, pandemic stuff is slow. We need our Marvel. They got to go big. So yeah.
Especially after you and Dave got trashed in that versus match.
I didn't see that. That's not what Tom Holland's number said.
Dan showed out what Tom Holland numbers say.
That's not what Tom Holland's
let me
number
say this
said.
real quick, guys. No spoilers, but I know all of you was like me. When I was watching the movie, I kept thinking of the battle y'all had because so much stuff in the battle kind of translated into this movie. I was like,
right?
Bro,
Right.
everything I was debating over. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get into that next week. Why Kobe proved he was the GOAT, but we'll talk about that next week. But as far as the movie is concerned, but as far as this movie is concerned, so my anticipation was very, very high. Like, I do love the Spider-Man in general, man. All the way going back to, I always talk about the cartoons, the movies, all of them. I told you, Homecoming just didn't do it for me, but I did like him in Civil War and Infinity War and stuff like that. So I was definitely anticipating a lot for this movie. I think the fact that another part we'll talk about is the fact that it's like the biggest movie since the pandemic. Like a big, huge, like huge film where everybody's going. It's all sold out. I feel like we needed that in the theaters. As a whole and stuff like that. So it made me even more anticipated what kind of numbers it could do. Because I want the theaters to always be good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and I don't like this whole, I'm happy this whole day and date thing is going away. I'm like, I don't really feel that too much. So that's for me. Now, to the movie itself. Next week, again, we're going heavy spoilers. It's just like a spoiler-free review.
Spoiler-free, guys.
Yeah. So, how do I want to say? Did this movie meet your expectation, Anthony? How about that?
This movie blew my expectations out of the water. If my expectations, I said, was an 8, this movie was like a 28 on my expectation.
And Dave?
Yes and no, certain aspects.
Wow.
We'll get into it more. We'll get into it more next week. There was some more things I was expecting to see. There were some things that I saw that I didn't know I was going to see. And then there were some things that I was disappointed about that should have been in there, but wasn't.
I agree with that, too.
And I'm just like, okay, well,
8.
So.
I agree with Dave with that. That's for next week.
Right. Yeah, that's all I can say.
It's so hard. It's very, very hard with this movie.
Very hard.
In game level. It met. I'm gonna go with Anthony though. It did for me. It met and exceeded my expectations. I won't say blew it out the water though, but I will say met and exceeded my expectations overall. So talk about I guess some of the things you liked that weren't spoilery, I guess, as far as like you talk about the writing, talk about the comedy, talk about the action, like talk about.
Well, I like the way that they laid the story out for the events in the movie to happen.
Right.
Happening. I thought it was going to be in a much stupider way, and it wasn't. It was very thought out, very clever the way they did it. They closed a lot of plot holes.
I thought also they opened up some.
They did. But they closed a lot. They closed a lot more than they opened. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
They closed a lot more plot holes than they opened.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's very well put together, man. It's an extremely well put together movie. Go ahead.
So let me say this. I felt that just like Dave, they did a good job of. So when it first started, I felt it was maybe going to be kind of silly, right? From watching trailers and just the beginning. That's all I'm going to say. I felt like it was going in a silly direction. But no, they did a great job with the story, putting it together. From what you guys seen on the trailer, if you didn't see the movie, I think they did a great job of the movie overall. I think the writing was good because they was able to put certain things together that. So when I seen the trailer, I was kind of like, really? But they put it together for me, personally, spot on. I was into it. And then, guys, you know me and my comedy. I don't really dig comedy too much, but what was the movie? I said one of the movies I said was the
Suicide Squad.
Eternals. No, the Eternals was the perfect level of comedy.
Oh, gotcha.
Suicide Squad was just the worst for comedy. But this personally, because Spider-Man's always funny, you know, that's just him, right? He's not there, he's not what's his name? The Merc with the mouth funny, Deadpool funny, but he's Spider-Man funny, right? And I felt they kept the comedy. It was a lot of comedy that I probably wouldn't like, but it was Spider-Man-ish comedy. So the story was great. I felt the writing was great. The comedy was online with what I wanted, and the action, I can't. It was Spider-Man. It was a complete Spider-Man package for me.
Perfect way to sum it up. E.
Yeah, he summed it up real good. There's like much I really can't. There's not much you can really say to that. Besides, no, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
He got us like Apollo Creed. Hey, what's
right?
the
Yeah.
We'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah.
For me, all right, I'm going to my movie critic hat right now. For me, I thought the amount of action for me was perfect. I thought the action was put in the in great places in the movie. I thought the writing was good, but could have been better. For me, the pacing was a little bit off. It was like uneven at certain times. That's the only thing that kind of like bothered me a little bit throughout the movie. For me, I thought the first act kind of was really off, but then it picked up in the second and third act of the movie. Stuff like that. The comedy, some stuff hit, like some stuff didn't. Like the one that's in the trailer, I can say about the whole thing when he laughed at Dr. Ock's name. I think that's just stupid. I don't even know why that's funny. Like I think that was just stupid time to laugh. Like I didn't.
You
get
did?
that part.
I thought it would. It made.
You know, I
it
ain't gonna
funny.
lie. If somebody told me that was their name in real life, I laughed too.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
I think
O's.
it worked because there was teenage kids. So I think if teenage kids went to the movies, they probably was cracking up. It hit home on where it needed to be.
You got to think about Otto Octavius.
Right.
I think if you knew, I don't know.
Honestly, I never met a dude named Otto. Like if I ever meet a dude named Otto, I might laugh.
Otto Octavius.
I actually have a friend named Otto, OCCO, same thing actually. So
really,
yeah, Spanish
wow.
or whatever. So maybe that's why I'm like, why is his name funny? I don't know. Like I don't know, it's crazy, but anyway, but certain ones hit for me, certain ones didn't. I will say because again, it's in the trailer, so anything in this trailer is not spoilery. We can say that right now. So I will say that the villains, some of them that they brought back, we don't even know it comes back from the trailer. They actually improved them so much. It made me so happy. It made me wish they would have been that way in previous films and stuff like that. So I definitely will say that.
Yeah, I thought Electro was good.
Yeah. How did y'all feel about, without spoiling it, the Doctor Strange and Peter interactions in the movie?
I liked it.
That's hit me with a curve. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. You go first.
Oh, all right, go ahead. I liked it. I just, like he said, it was a curveball at a certain part, and I just feel that's still, that's the supreme. Like there's no way. There's no way.
You go too far.
No way.
Dave.
Yeah, they definitely do a curveball with the relationship between those two. How do I say this without spoiling?
Right. See?
Be careful.
Hold on. Yeah. So it opens up a question. It opens up so much more questions about
what the beginning or the end?
No. Okay. So their initial interaction when he first walks into the building, when he first walks into the sanctum.
All right.
And they have the little, and then Peter and him have the little back and forth. You can call me doctor, whatever.
Yeah. That's also in the trailer, so he's good.
That's in the trailer. Yeah. But in that scene, there's something that happens that makes me change my whole view on like how this is set up, and I'm just like, yo, again, it was a clever way to do it. It was something I didn't think about. I know y'all didn't think about it either, but yeah, man. Yeah, again, I can't wait till next week. Oh God, I can't wait till next week. So we can play. Yeah,
I can't wait.
What was the question, man?
How'd you feel about their relationship, Strange and Peter?
Oh yeah. I honestly liked it, man. I liked everything. I think it was good enough for me. we've seen the other movies that we know they know each other, right? So at the end of the day, and from the trailer, we know the whole thing is him trying to not have people know who he is. So Strange is the perfect person to go to. Strange do know him. Their banter back and forth because they know each other from previous films was spot on. I was in, man. I was in.
Yeah, and I thought, you know, I mean, I thought they worked well. I think Strange works pretty well with anybody, to be honest with you. But I definitely think he
I was
works
gonna say
well.
he's that character.
Yeah, he like Tony. They both got the same type of personality where they work well with anybody. But I feel like that, you know, kind of like the whole older, younger person idea as well. I feel like that, you know, that works for them. And even the Wong that we see Wong in the trailer, even a little bit of Wong was there. As well. So kind of works.
Climax got me dying over here.
What was Climax say? I missed that one.
He 100% right on that.
For real. For real.
Straight up, he's 100% right on that shit.
Make sure you watch next week, Climax.
Make sure you
facts.
watch
Big
the
facts
problem with that too, though, because we're doing next week. I want to talk to you so bad, but I can't so much. Mike, I learned this from Mike. Save it for wax. So I'm gonna keep it short when we go off of this because I want everything I want to say to come out authentic next week.
Okay.
So it's gonna kill me waiting a whole week. We might have to do a midweek thing, guys.
Well, it's gonna allow me to see it a second time so I can get my little Easter eggs in. Yeah.
I'm definitely going again. Yeah. So.
Oh, you are too?
Yeah. So what I was gonna save to the end was that Sandy and I watched it and we was like, yo, and you know me, bro. I'm a one and done guy. I was seeing it. I don't need to watch it again. Cool. I only seen Endgame twice because the first time was in 3D and it bothered me. So I went the very next time to see it in Dolby Digital just to see how it competes the IMAX, right? I went to see both. But typically I watch a movie once, I'm good. I seen the Transformer Part 1 because that was a big deal for me twice. So, but this I watched and I was like, got to see it again just for me, just because I liked it that much. So that's
what was cool for me was I seen it Friday morning at 10 a.m.
Right.
And what's cool for me is two things. But I seen it Friday morning at 10 a.m. and then I seen it again today at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. What's cool for me is in the middle, I spent maybe 10 hours watching review videos and Easter egg videos. So I was able to go see the Easter eggs and the second time that people have pointed out to me already. So it's kind of like, so it's pretty cool. Also, I got two different types of crowds. I got a 10 a.m. crowd and I got a 3 in the afternoon crowd. Which was definitely two different types of crowds. Like I say that right now. Like my 10 a.m. crowd, my 10 a.m. movie was packed, but they were kind of like just waking up. They were just
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all a question. Were you guys lucky enough, I'm gonna say, to be in any theaters that got standing ovations?
Hell yeah. Yeah. Me.
Like at certain parts in the movie, not at the end. I'm talking about like when somebody showed up in the movie,
That was my point. My 3 in the afternoon theater today, I got that. The standing clapping on stuff. My 10 a.m. Friday, well, nobody standing up.
Yo, to this day, I will say also, I've never been in a movie theater where I've seen so many people crying than I was with Endgame, and Infinity War.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, I thought
those two.
I'm gonna say Infinity War.
Infinity War had more tears.
Infinity War, that's what
and
I'm
more
saying.
quiet. It was so quiet leaving the theater. It was like
what I didn't like was people were really crying though.
Bro,
I didn't like that.
But I watched that movie with my daughter, Infinity War, and when T'Challa and then blipped, she was in tears. Like, yo, is he really gone? Like, it was.
Yeah, it was people saying
because you didn't even know what to tell her.
Yeah,
you're a professional podcast. I don't know.
I mean, you seen him disappear, right?
I know.
Thanos.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. But anyway, with Spider-Man, so it was good to go through different experience. Yeah, I definitely suggest y'all all go see it a second time. And I'm wondering, since we're gonna rate it right now, will y'all's second rating be different at their second viewing? Like,
I'm
sure.
Everybody's always would be, I think. Yeah. Mine was with Spider-Man 2. Okay, yo, I'm gonna tell you something that's probably gonna shock you, Mike. Spider-Man 2. I went to the movies to see it in the theaters.
Right.
I had never seen it again until I was watching it, getting ready for the thing with y'all. Like, look, I've seen it one time in my life, and this is the days of DVDs and before.
And 16 years later, you saw it again.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And then 16 years later, I finally watched it again. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's why my rating changed between the two. Because the first time I had it higher. Then watching it again,
but see, that's different because you watching it at a different
After I
time
got
in your life.
spoiled with 16 years of MCU.
Yeah.
16 years of technology. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot at that point. It's not like watching
Ooh,
the
I
back to
want
back.
to
It's like
talk
watching
so much
It's like watching
junk,
that 1980
man.
Captain America film, and then putting it against First Avenger.
I see. Only thing I can't say that, Dave, because 1989 and 92
You know, a
Batman
climax.
still holds up against the new Dark Knights. Like people still love those. Some people still love those more. Actually,
Yeah.
so it really depends who you are. It's like not
Yeah.
you, but some people.
Traditionalist. I'm gonna say the traditionalist. They like the way
Nice.
shit used to be, not the way shit is now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Okay.
that's the
So
whole
for
world.
me,
You know?
let me just explain for me as a moviegoer. I told you all this before. My perfect my perfect style movie is I love to go back to this. Mike did the thing with Bruise with the Cruise, but Cyborg, right? I like it when you got this really, really good guy that you admire, you like, he's cool, you like him. Then you meet the villain, and the villain's just better than him. And then they meet up, and the villain beat him, right? And he can't beat the villain. And then that's what, maybe in the middle of the movie or beginning of the movie, he faced the villain beat him. So then it's him trying to get better, kind of like a Rocky 4 type thing, right? Or a Rocky movie. And then he finally gets back. They had to climb the clash, beat him at the end. There you go. So it depends if I see a movie if a movie has that formula for me and action, explosions, and if a movie just has that formula, it could be an older movie, but I think for me it'll still have a place in my heart. If it has my favorite formula, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think Spider-Man 2 had that type of formula, you know.
Oh yeah, 100%. But we're gonna get to that conversation. But we will. I don't know if we're gonna do it now or next week. Rank all the movies 1 through 9 or whatnot.
You
So
definitely got to
pretty
do
cool.
that.
Yeah, so that'll be
But
pretty cool.
You said
let's
1 through what?
up, man. I mean,
1
what else
through 9.
can we say
1
without
through 8?
spoiling anything?
Well, we got to count it to the Spider-Verse. So. Well, you have to make 8, right?
Oh,
It's
we're
8,
gonna
right?
count into the Spider-Verse? We're
Got
counting that?
to a Spider-Man film. Yeah.
You talking about
Let's do it.
the
Let's do it. All 9 then. I guess all
Yeah.
9.
That thing getting a 1. I mean, that was a great. I just don't. It's
Well, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Wait till next week when we rate them. So
All right.
like rank them. I should say rank them. All right. Yeah. About this movie though, Spider-Man: No Way Home. It's hard to not go into it without spoiling it. I would just say this. I love this movie. Again, I saw it a second time. It was a lot of fun. A big ride for me. It's a big fun ride. Definitely gave me the end game type of feels and stuff like that. I will say for particular reasons. I left out of the movie very, very happy, thinking and wanting to see it again, which I did. Like I said, the comedy hit, the action hit, the emotional beats really hit, which we'll talk about that next week as well. And I'm gonna just say I love the ending to the movie. It finally given me what I want without spoiling it. So that's for me. Who's next?
Where you want to put your rating?
I already gave my rating. I gave my rating to Chris as an 8.5 on Friday. But I'm going to go up second viewing to a 9, actually.
Right.
So that's my rating now. Who want to go next? Anybody? Go ahead, Dave.
I will say that you need to see this movie. If you don't see this movie, you are not a Marvel or comic book fan of any way, shape, or form. If you don't see this movie within at least the next week. The movie definitely hit all the beats, including the emotional ones. I give this movie 9.5. I want to say 9.6. I want to say 9.6, but I want to wait till I see it again the second time because ratings do change when you see it a second time. So
Great.
my tentative.
So wait.
Grade,
Hold on, back up. Are we doing points now? Because we normally like do just 0.5 and
Yeah, we do just a half, Dave. It's either a
she's a half or whole.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so let me rephrase what I mean by that. It's a 9.5 for sure. A large part of me wants to give it a 10, but I'm very hard on my comic book movie.
So we'll wait till second viewing to see what you
Wait till the second viewing, but for right now, 9.5.
All right, E.
Love the movie, action packed, great story, good comedy. I give it a 9.
Okay, you ready with me then? Okay,
Yeah,
all right, we lock,
nine.
stock, and barrel. Okay, E, that's cool.
Right.
And
Hey, Mike, let me just put this on me real quick, man. 'Cause,
all right.
I left the movie And my wife, she knows me. Mike, you and her usually are on the same level, and y'all usually laughing at me or debating with me. The movie ended. She looked at me. She said, "It gotta be a 10." I was like, and in my head, I always got Endgame, right? Didn't give Endgame a 10. I gave Endgame a 9. I'm like, dude, Endgame is the culmination of magic. And I looked back at her and I said, and I looked at myself, and myself said, "Mother effer, Endgame ain't had a hope." And I said, "Oh." So I looked back at her and I said, "Bro, this gets a 10. This movie gets a 10." And I personally, now biasly, I love The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. I feel like it was perfect. He had a good villain. You know, it was perfect movie. But this, but it didn't have much comedy. But this with the comedy and the everything we'll get into, honestly, guys, this for me is the best comic book movie ever.
Wow.
This is the top comic book movie. I don't care about Blade from back in the day. I don't care about Endgame. I don't care about my Edward Norton Hulk. This has succeeded and surpassed any comic book film for me. This is top tier. This is it. Nothing is above it.
Apparently, someone has not seen Winter Soldier yet.
I did, and I asked my wife. I said, "Man, I might have to watch Winter Soldier."
I'm gonna ask you a question next week, and I can't ask it now because it'll be spoilery about that. But just as a teaser for the show, since he already gave his #1 comic book film, we are doing a ranking all MCU films 1 through 25 now, Dave. 1 through 20.
Well, yeah, 25. Yeah. Well, 26
1 through
now.
25. 26, right? 1 through 26 next month. We're gonna do a show where we rank our MCU films, but we already know Anthony's #1 already, so we'll see his next ones after that. So I'm saving mine until next month though. So.
Yo, by the way, my list isn't ranked in 0.5s, and it's 9.6, 9.8.
No, I don't care about that. We're just giving you 1 through, whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
I will say this though, I am gonna see it again.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's see if my number changed.
Okay, yeah, we'll actually get next week. Yeah, we'll definitely be back next week. Hopefully, Chris will be back there. But that was a big statement right there, guys.
That's a big statement, man. Did you hear what I said?
No, somebody kept calling.
I don't know when you came off, but
he said this is the greatest comic book movie ever.
This is my top of the top, man.
Not MCU, he said all comic book films ever for him.
This Spider-Man, it gave me everything I needed in the movie. Again, Endgame would have been it, but my favorite comic book character is the Hulk. So you already know. So my thing is, and I still gave Endgame a 9, but I could always nitpick the movie.
That's
Personally,
too low.
I left. I don't have nothing. The nitpicks I have is so small. I have a couple, but it's so small, and we'll get into it. So this is it, man. This is.
And I said to him, don't forget, we're ranking our MCU films, all of them, next month. At some point when it's kind of slow with no shows or movies going on. Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. It's our spoiler-free review. For everybody in the comments, Climax, Mr. Openwell, Gary, Crisco, all you guys, thank you for watching as well. Again, there's just a teaser.
Oh, thanks, Climax.
We'll be back next Sunday for a full spoiler deep dive review. Should be
I got y'all
11 or 11:30 next Sunday morning. So
bring
please
your
feel free
coffee,
to watch.
bring your popcorn,
because I got y'all.
Be ready.
Hopefully with our 5th member of the Comic Cinema crew, Chris, as well. So hopefully he'll be there as well. But for that, this Comic Cinema crew, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys. Take care.
Peace out.
Yeah.